Hi everyone, and welcome to my review of The Neon Demon, a movie I believe is going to polarize audiences if they even go out and see it, because it's actually playing in over 1,000 theaters in the United States for some reason. I never thought this movie would get this kind of release. I was excited to see it, but this director, I love him. Most people don't, because he makes films not just for audiences, he makes films for himself. And sometimes they can be appealing to those audiences, other times not so much. I love this director. His name is Nicholas Winding Refn, whatever. And he has made some really incredible films. I love Drive. I think that's his best film, his most appealing film to mass audiences. And I love Bronson and some other ones that I can't mention right now. I can't think of the top of my head. And I did see Only God Forgives when it first came out, a movie that either people loved it or they hated it. And I was kind of in the like department because I thought it was visually stunning. And that's what's so great about this director. Is if you don't at least like his movies, you can't deny that they are some of the greatest looking films coming out today. And reminded me of directors that I absolutely love. So what is The Neon Demon about? And why is it actually playing in wide release? Now, I got a chance to see it with a friend. There was a few other people in the audience. And I don't see this movie playing more than 2 weeks. Maybe just a week, just because it's so different from what normally plays at these big chain theaters. Movies like this normally play at art house theaters, smaller theaters, you know, where you have to really drive out of your way to go see them, but this one is actually playing in a lot of locations. The Neon Demon stars Ella Fanning, a really great actress. She just turned 18 a few months ago, and she is just taking the movie world by storm. And, you know, we've seen her grow up because she is related to Dakota Fanning, her older sister, but I think she's become a better actress than her sister and more known to the world now. Now, in this film, she plays a young girl. She's lost her parents somehow. We never really find out why, I don't think. She comes from the South or somewhere, but she's coming from there to Los Angeles to become a model. And when she gets there, you know, she sees her competition. She's really loved, not by her competition, but by the men and women that are part of this fashion world, this model world. And so she's dealing with the fact that she's getting accepted, but also dealing with the people, the other young models that are not really too happy that they are being kind of put away to the side where she is getting all this recognition. The film also stars Jenna Malone, Christina Hedrick, and Keanu Reeves, amongst many, many others. Though Jenna Malone and Ella Fanning do get more screen time in this film than anybody else. But it's Ella Fanning's show. It's the Ella Fanning show. I would say more than anything else, it is director Nicholas Winding Refn's show. Because this is clearly his movie. And what I say by that, it looks like a film made by him. And I really admire that for those main reasons. Is this a film that I fully understood? Is this a film that I feel is fully deep and insightful and has something to say fully? Yeah, kinda. To me, what really grabbed me throughout this entire piece was just the way it felt, the way it looked, the use of music and images and cinematography, more than anything else. I did like that it had a simple story to follow as we follow this young girl, and she's just herself. She's just naturally beautiful, where all these other actresses, or say all these other models, are kind of using other means to get where they want to get in life. So there's this balance between that and what Ella Fanning's character is going through. But you do see her go through this really strange, weird, surreal look at life. I would not say this is a realistic look at Los Angeles. Maybe a little bit. If you dig deep into the fashion world, you might find some realism. But this is definitely a more satirical, not so funny way, but more satirical, dangerous, nightmarish look at the fashion world and how they really destroy the lives of the men and women who are the models. I'm not saying that this exactly what I've seen tonight actually happens in the real fashion world, but I would say maybe a percentage of it does, where men and women are kind of battling like, I want to stay in this business, but I'm getting older, and how can I look younger? And so it goes through some of those insightful ideas. But at the same time, when it got down to the final moments of the movie, I couldn't help but feel mixed feelings of how the movie was ending. And going into this, it's really hard for a movie like this to end. You almost need it to go on and on forever, because when it ends, you're left with like questions like, what does that mean? And does it really mean anything? Is it really that interesting? Did it really have something to say? Or was this movie just full of style more than substance? I would say there is more style in this film than actual substance, but the underlying substance was interesting enough for me to care about it as much as I did when it came to the style of the film. This was a polarizing movie. It was something that I was glued to the screen and loving it. I mean, just for those reasons, the visual, the great soundtrack by Cliff Martinez, and hopefully maybe some source music too. But this is a soundtrack that I want to be listening to when I'm doing anything. I mean, it was just a really great soundtrack. And I think the cast were interesting enough. Ella Fanning was great in this movie. Everybody else doesn't feel out of place, but everybody's acting is so like controlled and calm. There's other scenes where people do get out of control, but for the most part, when they're relaying their dialogue, they're just really calm about it and smooth and cool. I would like to see Nicholas do a movie like this, but do give it a more mass appeal with character development, with an interesting story. Not just the images and the ideas, but I like a good story, and there's a story here. It's really simple to get into, but I want to walk away from like, wow, characters, interesting people. I don't feel like I met people tonight. I felt I met ideas. I felt I met the different themes and meanings about life, especially from that world, and stuff that I hope will give me nightmares. I really hope that I have a little bit of a nightmare or think about this, because it's a movie that's going to stick with me for a while. I think more for better reasons than not, though I can understand the normal audience member going to see this film and hating it. Totally get it. It's not for everyone. That's why I'm so shocked that it's actually playing in multiple theaters. I don't think it's going to play for very long, and I don't think this movie's going to make lots of money, because it's not that kind of movie. When it's playing next to Independence Day is down one end, and the latest horror film is down the other. This is a movie that does have a lot to say in a very unique way, even though maybe it doesn't come across as it should all the time. But it's a movie more for a smaller audience that wants an experience more than maybe a character or storyline that they can get into and know that it's going to wrap up. I mean, the movie is very unconventional, even though it's telling a conventional story. But it's something that stuck with me for a while, and I'm still thinking about it, and I hope to think about it days and days afterwards, because I'd be willing to watch it again, at least for how good it looks. It's a great-looking film, and I look forward to seeing it on Blu-ray and just watching it again and trying to see, hey, is this movie really deep, or is it pretty shallow? Who really knows? But in the end, Nicholas Winding Refn is one of our best directors today. He reminds me of David Lynch with this movie, Kubrick, P.T. Anderson a little bit, and some other directors come to mind. And I love films like that don't just tell you, don't show you and tell you in the same exact way that I see time and time and time again with movies. So I appreciate it just being something different. I really do. I don't know if people who review movies and like to analyze things will find more about this film than I will, but I'd be interested to see what they have to say. Anyways, that is my review. I think this is a great film. I wish it was a perfect one, but some people might think it's perfect. Others might think it's a piece of garbage and pretentious as hell. For me, I thought it was great, wonderful, and very interesting to watch. And for that, I'm going to give The Neon Demon, I'm going to give the film 3.5 stars out of 4. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and share this video. And also, please check out these amazing movie websites.
And if you enjoyed this review, please click here to subscribe to my channel, and also please check out all my recent reviews right here on YouTube. Have a great day, live film, find peace, happiness, and harmony in anything and everything you do, and I'll talk to you at my next movie review.